Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega occasionally. This is a prelude or a precursor to the video. I am so happy to be back with the Thais. I just spent the last 2 days surrounded by Indians in Pattaya. Watch this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm so happy to be back with the Thais. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Alpha Omega occasionally. Guess where we are? Bloody Pattaya, and you'd never know it. You swear you're in Calcutta or someplace. It is absolutely overrun with you know who. What's wrong? Harry wants to say something. What do you want to say? Okay, listen, there's a lot more to come in this video, but I can tell you, this is unbelievable. You've never been in a hotel like this. It is completely overrun. I can't say the word, but there's other people here as well, but there's absolutely no farang. Stay with us guys for an absolute belter. You see, I couldn't say too much in there because they'd hear me. It's overrun with Indians and Chinese. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I can tell you, the elevators up and down, we're on the 15th floor. The elevators up and down, Harry, stop messing with that. Up and down are jam-packed. The overload alarm goes off every time. It's chock-a-block full of bloody Indians. They're absolutely everywhere. Busloads and busloads. If you think Pattaya is all about bars and go-go bars and farang, guess again, because there isn't a farang in sight. The only one I can see is the one I can see in the lens of my camera, and this little fella here. So guys, this is, for me, this is unbelievable. You know, I have been here before in this hotel, and the reason there's so many Indians here, they're on a work thing. It's a company that's rewarding, I look for Harry, a company that's rewarding their staff, and they bring them away. But this is what I'm talking about, and I said it before, about group mentality. They all go around in groups, and they're being ferried away. Hang on. Don't hit the tripod. They're being ferried away in busloads. Jesus Christ, am I so glad I'm an individual. Here we are, they're cheering, look. Huh? I don't know. Well guys, I got away from the Indians. God, I don't know how. By the way, we're at this thing here, this Buddha thing. You probably know where it is. This is about 10-15 kilometers outside Jomtien, which is part of Pattaya. It's at a hip direction, and I don't know what that's called. You've probably seen it a million times on YouTube. It's the Buddha thing. Just to let you know, this is a 2-day trip to Pattaya, and well, 2 nights. We came down last night, Friday night. Today's Saturday. Stay tonight and go back tomorrow. But she's doing the Thai thing, and as you, if you're aware of the fact that I made a video prior to this that I was suspected that there was a group thing for her staff, for her company, I thought they were coming, but they didn't come. So she has planned the itinerary, and if you want to be happy with a Thai woman, just let her do all of that. I do the driving and following the instructions. She said to me, park here, there's a car park here, I'll swing around. So there's a car park here behind me. And she said, you stop and you do a video here. She didn't tell me about the Buddha thing, but I knew it was here. And she thinks I'm walking all the way up there to take a shot of Buddha. I'm not one of those tourists. I'm not into that. That's a tourist. I'm not into that kind of thing. But the real reason she wanted to stop, she wanted to use the ladies. That's what it was. But she didn't want to say it because she wanted to save face. So she said, you go. And she said, park near the toilets. So we did. I did that. And that was her main reason for getting us to park here. So I just tell you about the Indians. When I made that introduction, there was a girl watching me, an Indian girl from Uttar Pradesh, and she was so impressed. Well, she said she was impressed with the way I was presenting myself on camera. She took a video of me on her phone introducing myself, and she was pleased to be talking to a foreigner in Thailand, whatever. Anyway, I'm not saying they're not nice people, of course they are, but God, there are literally, I'd say, it must be over 1,000 of them in the hotel, and there's a steady flow of buses coming to collect them to bring them where they're going. I think I heard one of the drivers saying Bangkok. He'd be shouting Bangkok, 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 and they were to get on that bus. I don't know how anyone would enjoy themselves on a group. I mean, this isn't a group stuff, but I don't know how anyone would go on a vacation anywhere in that. By the way, they're part of a company. It was a company bonding session kind of thing. You know what I mean? Rewards for work done. I don't know how anyone would enjoy coming away on a vacation like that. The elevators. Every time I came down in the elevator to make that clip, and I had Harry with me, and it was full of it, full to the brim, and the alarm was going off for overload. It stopped on every floor to take on more, and then we're going back up as the same bloody thing. It was the most. Oh, it's just not. That's not my cup of tea, and I'm sure there's nothing against Indian people. There's nothing against them, but just, you know, I thought things about Thailand annoy me. God damn, I take Thailand any day. If that's what India's like, I'll take Thailand any day. Anyway, this is a wonderful place. We're on the road trip today. I don't know where we're going to end up, but we are going to end up back down on the beach in Pattaya at some stage in this video. And I hope you're enjoying it so far. Anyway, I'm going to get back in the car. She's obviously done what she has done what she wanted to do. And this is only a front. I just know it. I know it so well. Park here, because she knew there was a ladies' facility here. And she said, park near the toilets and you can go off and do your thing. Letting me think that she was being, you know, she was accommodating me, when in fact she was accommodating herself. But there you are. That's what women do, isn't it? Anyway, stay tuned. Well, guys, you join us back again. We're back in Calcutta. In other words, the hotel. I'll tell you what happened. She was planning a road trip. We went from where I spoke to you last at that Buddha thing, and we went to a Thai military installation that's open to the public. Drove in, I was driving, obviously there's a military checkpoint. The guy looked at me, I lowered the window, he looked at me and he said in Thai, "Come by now." He said, "Where are you going?" And she just spoke above me from the back seat. And she more or less said, "We're going in to see the military installation, which is open to the public." And he said, "No." Well, he didn't say it. I said, "My Dai" in Thai, "Cannot. It's only open to Thai nationals." And I checked this on my phone before I started talking about this. I've checked this on my phone. US military installations in the US are open to foreign nationals, albeit that you might have to provide, extend other forms of ID. But imagine that. What do they think I'm going to do? I mean, Ireland isn't even a member of NATO. I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. But they're entitled to do what they want to do, obviously, and I'm not criticising that for one moment. But this is my personal understanding, or my personal takeaway from that situation. Anyway, we've come back here, and thankfully Harry's made friends with some Russian kid. How do we know he's Russian? Because he looks Russian and he speaks English like a Russian. And there's this green crocodile there. So, isn't it wonderful that you go out for the day with your Thai family, and two members of your family are Thai, and you're the only non, and they deny you access? I mean, you could have a bit. I would say there could be a bit of discretion there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can tell me that you can understand their reasoning. I can understand their reasoning, I suppose. But a family? I've never come across that before. It's the first time I've ever come across that before. Anyway, we're in Jomtien. There are oodles of Chinese, there are oodles of Russians, and there's more than oodles of Indians. And I have said before that I would find it very, very hard to live in Pattaya as a single man on a retirement visa. I would find it less hard to live in Jomtien doing the same thing, less hard, but I don't know if I could cut it. I mean, imagine we're in the hotel here. If I was doing the single life, I go up to my apartment I get up, go down, have me breakfast, go for a walk. Hello, Harry, what's the crack? But anyway, Harry is, he doesn't need me. So I could have a beer, but I say I can't have a beer because it's only 4 o'clock. And you know as well as I know, and the dogs in the street know, is that you can't buy a beer until 5 o'clock in Thailand. You see, if I was in, I won't say it. I was going to say something, but I won't say it because I won't say that on YouTube. But anyway, That's the deal. So I was refused access because of where I'm not from. There you are now. There you are. So it's wrong to say it's racist, because it's not racist, because it's not singling out a particular race, but it is singling out a particular race, the Thais. But you couldn't call the Thais a race. So therefore, because they're part of a bigger race of people, so therefore they weren't discriminating against me because I was a particular race, like Farang, because I was non-Thai. So therefore it's not racial, it's not classist, it's nationalistic. And I suppose any country is entitled to do that, and they are entitled to do it. But it doesn't sit well with me. I'm going to have a bit of grub. And as I said before, you know, she has cow pat, which is fried rice and fried chicken in the bag there. I'm going to have that. And I'll join you again a little bit later on. I hope you're enjoying the video. Well, it's a little bit later on now, but it's something I want to tell you. I've acquainted myself with an old friend here. There you go. I do that quite a lot. But listen. I was going back up to the room to change into me sexy swim shorts, which I don't have. So I bought a couple of months ago these boxers. They're very, and I'll spare you. These boxers, and they're fairly elaborate. They're fairly thick kind of things, or thickly woven. She mistook them for swimming shorts, so I'm wearing my boxers when I'm swimming. I was doing a bit of swimming. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I went up to the room. I was sitting here, and she'd bought some chicken and stuff like that. I was going to have something to eat, as I said earlier on. And because it's a restaurant, they won't let you eat the food at the tables, blah, blah, blah. So I had to bring the food up to the room because I was starving. I went up to the room anyway, and finished and came back down. I was getting out of the lift. There was a Muslim couple in the lift, and I know they were Muslim. So they weren't Indian. They were probably Pakistani. You know, I'm assuming, but that's what you do, don't you? So anyway, I said hello to your man. I said, hello, alaikum. He didn't answer me. He just looked at me, but didn't answer me. I don't know, maybe it's, you know, he was with his wife. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But these seem to be very timid people. Anyway, we went from were they in the lift already? Yeah, they were in the lift already. When I get in the 15th floor, we're obviously right down to the first floor. They call it the first floor. We call it the ground floor. When in the States, you call it the first floor as well. But anyway, the ground floor, first floor. The doors opened, and in swarmed at least 15 Indians. And they wouldn't even let the couple, they were an old couple, they wouldn't even let them put a foot forward to get out. The elevator was coming down. So they knew the people in the elevator weren't going up. They had finished their journey, and they all barged on. I found it very difficult to squeeze my way out, but I said it to them. In my best Irish accent. Would you not think of letting people out first? That really infuriates me. I swear to God, I go on a lot about Thai culture, you know, things that annoy me. But as I said earlier, if that's the way they go on in India, oh God, I don't know how anyone would be able to tolerate that. Barging onto the elevator before you even get a chance to get... What kind of mentality is that? Anyway. This isn't an Indian bashing video. I'm just telling you as it is, like I always do. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this and the rest of the next one, and I'll see you in a bit. Stay tuned. Well guys, as you can probably tell, it's quite a bit later. It's actually now just going 9:45, and Harry fell asleep. We were going to go out for the night, but Harry fell asleep, but I've got some free time now. I just want to say the place we're in is Jomtien Palm Beach Hotel, and it is state-of-the-art, 100%. The rooms are palatial, the food is fantastic, the staff are super friendly. It is absolutely wonderful, but I tell you this much, there's no bar in it. I'll say that again, there's no bar. There's a restaurant, but there's no bar. There's alcohol in a shop, like a convenience store. It's not 7-Eleven, but it's like that kind of thing. And they sell the basic necessities, and they sell Leo, cans of Chang, and cans of Sing. That's it. There's no bar. There's a bloody bowling alley Now, if anyone's familiar with this place, you know what I'm talking about. That's what that means is it doesn't cater for Westerners. It caters for Chinese. It caters for, well, I've been here. I was here before many years ago and was full of Chinese, and they behave the exact same way as the Indians do. And that's rush into the lift or the elevator before you have a chance to get out, and rush in before you have a chance to get on. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not saying they're ignorant. It's obviously their culture and it's the way they behave. And it comes across as ignorant to us because we don't understand their culture. I'm trying to be broad-minded here. But I can tell you, I wouldn't come here of choice, personally, because of the fact there's no bar and it's full of Indians, Chinese and Africans. And when I say Africans, I mean they're in groups and they behave the same way as the aforementioned. And I'm not being racist here at all. I'm just telling you as it is. This is the way it is. This is what I experienced here. So I'd much rather be in a hotel that caters for Westerners. I'd much rather be in a hotel that has a bar and you can sit and just relax and chew the fat and shoot the breeze. Let's have a walk down here to the beach area. Now I got to be very careful because it's full of floozies. That's putting it mildly. Full of floozies, and they're not the type that you'd. Well, I was going to say have a look. I'm not going to show you them because I point the camera at them and I could be in trouble. You know, I'm used to doing my videos in Bangkok. I'm not used to doing them down here, and I don't want to invite trouble. Anyway, let's go down there and we'll continue on. So I've stationed myself down on the roadside here. There's floozies left, right and centre. So I'm keeping the camera trained on me. I can tell you, I feel very, very vulnerable here. I've never, I've done this in Bangkok for the last 3 years on the Big Picture Al Panorama, this kind of thing, interviewing girls on the street. And I even did it in Nana. There's no way I would chance it here. I just don't feel as safe here as I feel in Bangkok. That's the truth. That's the truth. More Indians behind me. Jesus Christ almighty, I swear to God. I swear to God. This will be the last place hotel that I would choose to stay, as I said, if I was booking it for myself. She booked it as a family, and for that, there's one or two. In the pool today, there was a guy from the Netherlands and a guy from France. They were both married to Thais. And see, that's what it is. That your Thai woman will bring you here. But I don't, unless you've stayed here and you know the crack yourself. But I wouldn't. For me, it wouldn't cut it. And especially what I can see around me. As we say back in Dublin, some of the floozies I see here, the tide wouldn't take them out. So I've crossed over the road to 7-Eleven. It's at the end of the main strip there, Jomtien. I'll just swing this around. And just beyond me down there, there's bars and clubs that's reminiscent of what Pattaya really is. But I'm not going down there with this. This is a Canon M50 with a cage on it, a light on it, big microphone on it, and a fucking huge big tripod and a handheld digital recorder. I'd be mad to do that. And I tell you, you'd be mad, I think, to live here. I wouldn't live in Jomtien. I was thinking maybe, compared to Pattaya itself, I wouldn't live in Jomtien if you paid me. I swear to God. Well, maybe you paid me, but you'd have to pay me quite a bit. And even if I was being paid, I'd still have to wake up every morning. I'm talking about living alone on a retirement visa. I still have to wake up every morning and look out at the beach, which isn't the cleanest beach in the world. Look out at the beach and walk along the beach and walk along with all the other guys that are on their doing the last fling. There's the Jomtien sign there. You know what it is if you've been to Jomtien. And all the floozies are sitting there. There's a kind of a stone or concrete bench going all the way around it. They're about 100 metres or less from me now. And they're just sitting there. And when I was saying that the tide wouldn't take them out, I mean exactly that. You'd want to be off your bloody rocker. I changed the scene a bit. I'm back up in the room. And this is what the room looks like. It's absolutely palatial. You're going to ask me how much does it cost to stay here? I don't know. we got it as a gift, put it that way. I won't go into too much detail on that. Wasn't a gift to me, it was a gift to her. And I'm very, very happy that we got it as a gift. It's absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how my interaction with these, I'll say it, bloody Indians was today. This is the way to spend your Saturday night in Jomtien. Maybe not. Tommy 6 years ar a chathair. That's Gaelic. I'm sitting in a chair, well, an armchair to be precise. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my interaction with Indians. I was going down to make the video down below on the street. And I got down, and when I started recording, it was a bit fuzzy. Maybe one or two of the clips that I didn't notice before this were fuzzy. The lens got some condensation in it, maybe because of the air conditioning in here or whatever. So I had to come back up to the room with the camera in tow and the tripod, and we've got a Canon M50 with a cage on it, with a rig with a Rode Video Mic GoPro screwed onto the side and a light screwed onto it's in a shoe onto the top. It's a very elaborate looking thing. And I'm standing in the elevator holding this thing as well, you see. It wasn't on. And just before I got in, this Indian looked at me. He didn't say anything, just picked his phone up and started taking pictures. And I just said, to be polite, hello. Because that's not the first time today an Indian has done that. They seem to get a buzz out of me walking around with a camera like. So we get into the elevator and he continues to do it, not saying one word to me. Now, you might say that me and a lot of other vloggers go around Thailand and Bangkok taking videos of people and they don't know they're being videoed. I asked the girls on the big picture El Panorama their permission before I include them in the videos. And the ones that I don't speak to, I wave to, and if they wave back, then I include them on the videos. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm in a bloody elevator, only two people. One of them's an Indian holding the phone up like this, smiling like this to himself with me in the background. And the thing about it was, when he got to his floor, he was holding the camera or his phone up, taking photos, and he continued to take photos as he walked out. He didn't turn around and say anything to me. Just walked off. Now that is bloody ignorance. And I will say that maybe it's us who see their behaviour as ignorant because we don't understand the culture. But this is the truth. This is the truth of the matter. I wouldn't voluntarily. I wouldn't choose to come to this hotel again. Not because it's not a good hotel. It's a wonderful hotel. It's absolutely spot on. All the facilities, the room, as you can see, the room is palatial. It's fantastic. But I put it this way: there's no bar. I forgot to mention there's a snooker hall as well. Very, very elaborate snooker hall actually. But there's no bar. There's a bowling alley and a snooker hall. And there's a little shop, convenience shop, and that's all they only sell. The only chance you have of getting beer here is in that convenience store. In the fridge, they have Sing, they have Leo, and they have Chang. Small cans, and that's the extent of it. And, to come to a hotel where the main attraction is 10-pin bowling, and there's no bar, and it's full of Indians, and full of Chinese, and there's a few Africans as well. You see, again, I'll say it, I'm not being racist. I'm not singling out Indians, Chinese and Africans. I have very good Chinese friends in Bangkok. I think that some of the Chinese people I know are the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. I've one very good Indian friend. But one of the things about their culture is, and I'll never go to India. I will say this, and you should never say never, but I would not choose to travel to India and spend time there based on my experience in this place this weekend. And that's a fact. I don't know what your experience, if you've been to India, look, I know India's a big country, and I'm sure obviously there's some lovely people, but it's their behavior in their group. Maybe it's the group mentality. It's their behavior that really, really, really got up my nose. And I mean, got up my nose. I crap on a lot about Thai culture, Thai culture is head and shoulders above that. Because that is absolute bullshit behaviour as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'm back in the room, fully air conditioned, absolutely palatial, wonderful place. I will recommend this hotel to anybody, but that's only if you're willing to put up with Indians. And if you're willing to do that, it's going to be a wonderful place for you to come. So there you go, lads. I have no animosity towards Indians or Chinese or any of them. And no Indian person was harmed during the making of this video. Only my humour was affected by the behaviour. But I hope your humour has been affected in a positive way after watching this completely different video from Jomtien. And I'm sure you've never seen a video on YouTube from Jomtien like this. So, if you haven't done so already, I hope you click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll be back in Bangkok tomorrow, and I hope to see you, well, I will see you again very, very soon. Take care, and thanks for joining me.